I just pulled apart all my cameras in the middle of that countdown. I just tripped over a bunch of cords and had to just sneakily make that work. But I think everything appears to be running smooth. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this camera moved too. Let's get that in the middle of my crazy pineapple hair today. Happy Thursday. Hello, Cinderella. Who else we got in here? Oh, what am I looking for? This piece of hair. Who else we got in here? It's a little group today. I'm just sneaking out. I haven't talked about this all week. I'm just like, oh my gosh, right, it's Thursday. It's time to paint. I've come to the realization that it's a little more realistic. Once a month, you guys. We're going to do the last Thursday of every month is going to be a Thursday. Okay? You've looked at this painting so many times. Like, have you found it on Pinterest too? We're talking about this goldfish here in the corner here. The artist's name is Teddi Parker. Terri Parker. Let me find. Let me confirm because I don't want to take credit. This photo right here is not mine, you guys. We haven't done another artist painting in a long time, so I forgot the protocol a little bit. But it is Terri Parker Art on Instagram. Go check them out. I started following them. Their work is amazing. I, like Cinderella, found this painting on Pinterest. And it just looks like a lot of fun. Obviously, again, like by no means are we going to be getting to the detail and quality of this painting at the bottom. We're just going to see how we can take it, right? Ideally, I'm pretty sure, again, if Terri ever watches this, like, I'm probably explaining it not how you did it. But when I look at it, I imagine that she painted, he, I'm not sure, painted the background pink first. Like hot pink. And I'm like very tempted to do that with us today. I just hesitate because some people's paint, like their white and their blue, will not cover it well. Oh my gosh, there's a time lapse. Oh my gosh, okay, so I guessed correctly. They did start pink. So you can do that if you want. If you want to start with pink, feel free to go for it. I feel like I kind of want to. I think I might. Just because it's fun. It's something a little bit different for some people. If you're worried about your paint quality not being opaque enough to cover on top of the paint you placed below, avoid the pink, and everything else will be the same. Okay? So as we're talking, I'm just gonna paint the background pink. Actually, how about I do that? Cinderella, hey, if you're the only one requesting in here and you're here live, you're allowed to call these shots. If you ask me, am I right? Everyone on YouTube, my apologies, but I hope that... Is there a tutorial for this online somewhere already? My apologies if there is. I'm never trying to take anything from the other artists. I literally just don't have enough time during the week to make the paint night painting. So people send me photos or I go through Pinterest and then we like try to mock a picture, right? Nico, you think you have this pink. So this is I've posted about it before. This isn't exactly the right one. Because this Amsterdam has different series. There's like a professional series, and that's the one that I need. But, oh my god, can you guys pronounce this? Like, is it gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? Oh my god, how about this one? Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. It's in a bunch of different languages. I think English is the second one. Can you guys read that? Pronounce that? Because I can't. Quinacridone rose. That's my pink. I use it on everything. Okay. I don't do these as much anymore, you guys, so I'm just out of the loop. I'm out of the hang of things. So bear with me while I go over just our little rules as I paint this background pink, okay? You got the darker shade of it? No worries. It's still darker shade. Just add a little white and then you have the right one. No stress there. So, hello everybody. If you're new to the page here, I am Tay. I am not a trained teacher by any means, but I am a trained artist. I've been an artist most of my life. And we started doing these paint nights in good old quarantine days when we were all at home making bread and stuff. then it's continued on to this cutie little community. There's a bunch of us that gather. All these videos can be found on YouTube. Don't worry about it if you don't want to paint along. We do it a little bit fast. We don't do it too fast. It's like about like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe is what or how long it takes for us to go through something. Some people like to watch the recorded one and just hang out during this one, and that's cool too. The reason I say I'm not a trained teacher is because I'm always learning the best way to teach myself. So if you're following along and I explain something too fast, explain something weird, or need me to repeat something or anything, holler at your girl, let me know. It helps me and it helps other people in the future watching YouTube later. To get the best experience, and it helps me to learn how to teach better later on too, okay? Number 2 is when we start doing out our shapes, feel free to start with a pencil if you want. You don't have to. I'll teach you with paint, but some people prefer to do it with a pencil because they're more comfortable with a pencil, hand pencil to paper, whatever. That's cool. No stress there. If you don't have a color I have, no worries. You can mix most of them or paint it with a different color. Nothing is set in stone. We love seeing people freestyle in their paintings and doing whatever they want. Because that's the best part, that I give the same instruction and everybody comes out with a different painting at the end. Okay? How's this? I don't really like this brush. If you're just tuning in, I can see a couple more people are sneaking in. You don't have to paint your background pink first if you don't want to. We're going crazy, you guys. We're trying something different. Why not? But here we are, painting it pink. I like to kind of paint it crazy at the start. Whatever works. I also am a very messy painter that I don't like to paint all the way to the end. I like to see bits of the canvas peeking out, so I let it show, right? Okay. If you want to get some like drippies, just go right into... Oh, hello, Nikki. Go right into your water and see those cool drips. That's fun. Do you want to like flip your canvas around and get other drips upside down? That's fun too. All right. I'm just getting a little wild. I haven't even went over all of the rules. I just got right into painting today. Number 3. You can already see I'm showing this at the moment. Don't treat your painting too precious, okay? Especially adults. Kids have a way easier time of doing this, but adults have it's hard. You go into this painting being like, I think the painting's going to be perfect. It's going to look exactly like this from the start to finish. And if something looks weird, you hate it and you quit. And we don't like that. We don't accept that. At Taytayski's Paint Night, we make you push through. You have to trust the process, which is rule number 4, and go all the way to the end because you are always surprised with what you come out with. Even me, like any painting I paint, at the end of it, I'm like, damn, that's cool. I'm usually proud of it. But there's always a little bit. Halfway through, ask my boyfriend. I hate every painting I do in the middle at some point. But you're going to trust that process. We're going to get to the end. And you're going to have a cutie little fishy. Some people's paint might not like us doing pink first. And you know what? That's okay. You might have like a cool, different result. That's fine. Oh. Cinderella. My fiance, not my boyfriend. You're right. I don't know. Why do I think fiance is a weird word? We both don't like the word fiance. I never use it. It's also because my ring is broken right now and I need to get it fixed. I feel like it doesn't even feel real at the moment. But Cinderella, it's not wrong. He's my fiance. Dan will thank you from afar, I'm sure. Alrighty, then. It's been a little bit of an interesting intro already. As you're painting your backgrounds pink, or as you're waiting for us to stop painting our backgrounds pink, another couple of rules. Water is your friend. I'm going to say it all the time. You're going to probably be annoyed, but water helps with lots of things when it comes to acrylic paint. It's a water-based paint. It helps us out. All right? And then number 6 is have fun, okay? Let's have fun. We're only doing these once a month now. So we have to have more fun at each paint night. Right? Okay. Music's annoying today. But okay. I know. Cat attack. I know. They're like, what? Once a month? I know. That's just a me problem. I'm struggling with balancing time in my job right now. I'm real like prioritizing and planning and all of my life. It's a little bit up in the air at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out a right routine. Now that I don't work from home, my life's just kind of been flipped upside down a little bit, and I can't commit solid to a couple weeks like that, or to once a week at the moment. I just can't. But I can't not do them anymore. So I was like, okay, once a month, the last Thursday of every month. That's an easy way to do it. I feel like that's an easy way to say, like, not every Thursday, not one Thursday a month. It's like the last Thursday of every month we're paint nighting. How's that sound? I don't have a job and still can't balance life. See, there you go. It happens. It's adulting's hard, you guys. It's tough. Once a life, don't break my heart. Yeah, no, not once a life. Not once a life. I love the paint nights. I just also need to figure out how to schedule my time properly. Actually, I need a team. That's problem number one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay? So, we have a pretty pink background. It is wet at the moment, so we can't really do anything about it. I'm actually just going to, like... Realistically, we're not going to really see much of this pink. I'm going to probably like the drips at the bottom, but a lot of this pink is going to be covered. I'm just going to smooth some of it out and kind of quicken up this dry process. And then we're going to start doing some shapies. Perfect. But you guys, if I could do a paint night every day, I would. I would. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay the very heavy bills that everybody has these days. That is problem numero uno. Okay. I got the goldfish up here. I don't know why it won't get bigger, but we're just going to deal with that. And I didn't watch the time lapse that Cinderella saw of this actual painting getting painted. So I always we go live and we figure it out as we go. So I'm probably going to be doing it quite different than how Terri Parker did. You have faith. Love it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I can tell this Terri Parker, very talented. Again, you should go to their Instagram. But they're masterful at color mixing, and we know that that's not my favorite thing to do. So... And I don't do it properly. I teach you the quick and easy way of color blending, okay? So I'm going to get some paint colors on my canvas. It's not a canvas, on my palette. And it's going to be orange, probably a good old cadmium orange. Oh, it looks very yellow on screen, but we're just going to deal with that. Quick and easy, name of the next home movie. Cinderella. You're on fire today. You're carrying the peanut gallery, and I'm living for it. Okay, I've got some orange on my palette. I'm probably going to get some Hello Moonshine. Moonshine? Moonshine. I'm going to get some yellow on my palette, and I'm going to get some red on my palette. If you don't have orange, that's just a good old yellow and red mixed together. Moonshine. Love it. I read Shane for some reason. My brain filled in that X with an A. But I got there. Just took me a minute. How'd you do that? No, I love that. I love that. Okay. We're just painting a goldfish here. Right now, looking at our reference photo and looking at the canvas, you're probably like, where am I leading you? Another thing that I'm going to challenge some of y'all to do, again, not everyone, we don't all have to do the same things. I challenge y'all to try to do almost this whole painting in a square brush. I dare ya. A square or like a touch rounded, but versus pointed. Do you know what I mean? Hey, we try our best. I don't know if we're going to get exact. This painting's a good one. This is a good painting we're doing today. But we always get something at the end, right? So again, you don't have to try with a square. It's just a good challenge for people who've been painting a long time. If you're someone who's just coming along to paint today, go for a more pointed brush like this. See the difference? Square, V, pointed. It can even be a smaller pointed like this. Or if you're a penciler, the time is now for the pencil. See, these two on this side are pointed, this one's square. The thing that's nice about a square is that you can use it to make fat lines, but if you use it like this, you can make thin lines as well, okay? I love working with square brushes. Keep getting out of the camera today. Let's just, I'm a mess. We're gonna start with red, all right? We're gonna take your brush, we're gonna dip it in your water. Again, if you have a pencil, ignore these little paintbrushing techniques. You're gonna be just doing the shapes that we are doing with this red, okay? You're gonna dip your brush in your water a couple times. I have pants that I don't wanna get paint on today. Scooch that in there. Oh, earthquake. Okay, just kidding, not an earthquake. Some of my American followers, that could be true. So we've got red on our brush. Our paint's pretty watered down. We took a couple scoops of water from our palette, our water dish, onto our palette. And we're just gonna start by a good old like egg shape. And the egg shape, if we're looking at our goldfish here, is like his body, okay? So we have to acknowledge that he's gonna have a pointed out face and he's gonna have a long tail on the other side. So we're gonna go, let's say, like right here. There's an egg. And again, remember, it's the underdrawing that we're doing right now. So see, I went around like a couple times until I got the egg shape that I wanted. See how if this is the middle of the canvas, it's a little bit more to the right. It's not straight in the middle. We still got to make a pointy little fish face and a tail on the other side. So remember, you need to leave room for that. Look at your whole canvas and acknowledge where that fishy's going to go. Because I am notorious for misplanning where to put stuff, and then they get really close to the edge, and sometimes it happens, and you got to work around it. But all right, we've got an oval. That's a good old fish body. And from the top of that oval, we're going to start, like we're touching the oval that we already drew, and then we're going to bring the line on down. It almost looks like we're drawing an eyeball. I'm just going to change my camera around here for a second. Perfect, so that you can see what I'm looking at there. Okay, so there we go. We've got an egg oval shape. We've got a line coming down like we're doing like an eyeball almost. Who watched Series of Unfortunate Events? Count Olaf, big eyeball. That's what it looks like at the moment. Right, but we're going on down. We've got that hump. Okay. And from there, we're going to come up and kind of make the bottom end of that tail. So again, if you're looking at our reference photo down there pretty well, you can see like from his gill, which is what we made here, that big oval, we can see his tail. Boop. That's like the end of his little body. Right? This is just our rough drawing, so we can fix shapes around later, but right now we're just planning where everything lays out before we make that little fishy. Okay, I'm still using that watered down red. And from there, let's just make a line as to where we're gonna make that fin, right? So this is kind of how his fin pops out of the tail. Again, you're always looking at the reference photo. I'm literally staring, it's at on my computer right behind the camera. I almost look at the reference photo more than I look at my painting. Okay, and then from there, we're making the bottom of his tail. Just little floopy lines. Easy peasy, right? One thing that when you get more comfortable with paint, and you paint and draw more often, is that you don't have to go exactly into full shape like this. You simplify a little bit more, like maybe you do one big brush stroke that is that shape instead of having to line them all up. But we always go from the basic, right? So that you always can see everything we're drawing broken down into shape, so you can see how it's built up. And the more that you do it, the more that you train your eye to see shape, and you can kind of work around it. That makes sense. Work around or cheat a little bit. You don't have to map out every single little shape. And it just starts getting smooth. Alright, so we've got a fish tail. We've got his fins. If you want, we can keep kind of matching up. We start at the bottom and we're curving that line parallel to the one we already did, just to imply that tail. But a lot of that's going to be just paint strokes in there. So we don't want too hard of a line. We're just acknowledging where it's going to go. Right? And that's about what the tail is going to look like. But again, we're painting over all this. We've got a tail. Now we're going to go up to his body. So if we're looking at a reference photo, we can imagine that's his little gill that we've got in there. And then it comes on up. See, right? We started at the bottom. We're tracing out the circle. And we're bringing it on up. Yep, I probably brought that a little high. Maybe about there. And from there, we're picturing that big bump. And then this just gotta match up to that corner. Right now it's pointy. We're gonna make it, we'll shape it out a little bit better. But at the moment, if you break it down to its simple shape, maybe even a little bit bigger. Big hunchback of Notre Dame. Goes to his tail. Big belly. Doo, doo, doo. How's that so far? Now, the top of his hunchback, his fin's gonna go in this direction. My nose is so itchy. And see, it's not a straight line. If it was a straight line, it would be more like this. We did a little bit of a curve. And then almost at the end of his tail, we're going to come maybe like half an inch up. And we're going to match, make a line from the bottom. And again, it's at a little bit of a curve to match up to the top of that curved line we got on there. Just making sure everything looks right. Looks a little wild at the moment, but coming together. Okay, still using that watered down red. Right, we can, what are we gonna do next? We're gonna go down to his bottom fin, and again, just do a line that has a touch of a curve to just see where we're gonna make that fin go. And from the almost the same point, we're gonna come on up. Again, he's underwater, so a lot of the lines are always so curvy and they're flowing with it. So this line's, again, not straight line. It curves back, and this line too curves up a little bit. They're very minuscule details at the moment, because again, it's our under drawing. And then we're coming right on beside it again, and he has another fin. We're going to do a line up and down, but it's not as long because the fin's in the back. So the fin that's closer to us is going to have a little bit more length. The one in the back is going to dissolve into the background later. All right? I feel like I want to make him fatter, but we'll do that in a sec. I love painting little chubby guys. All right. And just to see where his body starts laying out properly. This looks like so many 90s tribal tattoos right now. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's coming along beautifully. Oh, there's the fiance. I called you my boyfriend earlier and I was corrected quickly. Thanks for the fireworks, sweet little prop angel over there. 2. Props times 2. Okay, where are we at, folks? We've got our funny shapes together. We know it's going to look like a goldfish at some point. We're just not quite there yet. But we're doing a rule number 4, which is trust the process, right? Let's just map out where that cute little eyeball is going to go. And roughly where this oval meets the triangle that we made. Probably right in the middle is where that big old eyeball is going to go. We're basically painting over it soon, but just for us to kind of map stuff out, like it helps us visually to see. Actually, it's helping me more visually to see what our next move is. Oh, Tender Bear! It looks like a Thursday night, 100%. That's the last Thursday of every month is Thursday. That's what we've decided today. Oh, my God! Don't catch it. Okay, so if we look at our reference photo, we see that his gills would be there, his eyes would be there. We will fix the shape of that. That's fine. Where else are we going? I think. That's it, that's all. We can, like, mop out where his little mouth is going to go, but that's okay. We don't really have to do that either. Does it look... It looks like the fish, you guys. It already does. If you squint hard enough, it looks like the fish. One more line I'll just make so that we can see as we start laying some color down. We can come out. See this line for this fin? The big long fin that we did. We're going to do a line out to the left and back up. And from there, we're going to know where we're going to have to color everything. Okay? Are we ready to start filling in that goldfish? We're going to need a little bit of white on our palettes, and you pencilers, put them pencils away. Take your paints out. Again, if you want a challenge today, I've challenged some of you people who have painted a few times. Not you beginners, but you want to challenge painters to paint with just a square brush. Not just one square, like a big square, small square, whatever. But try to use versus pointed brush, tries just square. That's how you get these cool textures and you can kind of lay down big shapes. And it is a challenge if you are somebody who likes to paint really detailed or in smaller strokes and smaller sections. When you use this square and try to keep just singular brush strokes instead of blending them together, it's kind of fun to play with. Okay? How should we attack this? You're trying square. I love it. You're trying a square brush tiny on a 4x4 canvas. A 4x4 canvas. That's little. It blows my mind, you guys, everyone who paints small. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. Okay. We're grabbing a little bit of white on our palettes to help us along. I love that you're all trying the square brush. Love it. So let's work dark to light as usual. So I'm going to take a little bit of my red, and again, this is me learning as I'm teaching, right? When I did an 8-week class with Pinovate here in town, I always teach to mix with your brush, because I like that it doesn't mix perfect and that you get some like weird blends in there or whatever. Like, I personally like that. But then a bunch of people in the class were like, everything they were taught was to never mix with your brush, always mix with a palette knife, and that's neither are right or wrong. You can do whatever you want. If you at home would prefer to mix with a palette brush, and I say mix with a paintbrush, please go ahead and paint with your palette. Mix with your palette brush. Palette knife, not palette brush. I just mix those both together. Mix with a popsicle stick, whatever you want. I just personally love a good mix with my brush. So I grabbed a little bit of red and a lot of orange just to get a little bit of this color mixed throughout, to have some harmony between our colors. And I got my big old square brush. And we're going to start by looking at our fish and seeing where those darker orange colors are. And they're like on his nose. They start to peek through his fins, that type of stuff. So we're going to just go for it. And let's start on his little hunchback of Notre Dame. So we're going to just bring our brush stroke. There's not much water on our brush. Sorry, I haven't been teaching you well. I've just been yabbering at you. It's just get your paintbrush wet and mix the paint into your brush so you got them on all your bristles. But we're not doing that chocolate milk consistency that we started with. We are doing a nice thick paint. And try to do like just a couple strokes and like leave that square look to it if you are using a square brush. And as we're going through, remember your red paint or your pencil lines are just your underdrawing. They are not rules. You do not have to stick to them. Maybe we're going to bump out with our darker orange red, just bump out a little bit and bring his nose out a little touch. Let's see if you can see it better. You guys can't see my mouse, but do you see how, oh, maybe we're going to bump it out a little bit. We had it just a straight line. Maybe we can bump it out a little touch with this reddy orange. And come on down his mouth, which is a cute little triangle. See how we built that triangle in there now? Do you see that? And again, try to just do like one stroke. And try to be a little bit more simple and more conscious of your brush strokes. We can start on here too. Just a stroke. Oh, you can't even see that. Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn my countdown off. Sorry about that. Okay. Now she gets these like yummy colors is that she's mixing two complementary colors together. An orange, the complementary color is blue. It's on the opposite of the color wheel. And when you use those colors to mix, they just brings them. I can't remember like exactly what the perfect way to describe. I just know what it looks like visually. But it makes your colors that much more full. Remember how all the time I like tell you guys to mix with black because it's just like the cheap, easy way. But when you mix with the actual opposite color of the color wheel, you get way richer colors. So that's what this person is doing. They're beautifully talented. But you guys know that I paint with neon paints right out of the tube. Alright, so I'm going back in with this orange and we're just roughly laying out some of those spikes in his fins. But see how I'm using my big square brush, but I'm getting those thin lines because I'm using it like this instead of like this, right? And brush lightly some wispies in his tail. And still, while our paint's wet, you can even just go in with just pure, like, I still have orange on my brush, but I went right into just red. And even try to just blend her in a little, like, these brush strokes aren't, I don't know why I said blend, because we're just playing around with some different techniques today. Maybe don't blend, just try to blob on a little bit of red on top of that orange that we've laid down for some nice juicy brush strokes. How is that? If your orange is too dry, then just mix in a little bit more orange in there. And we're pulling some of this reddy orange through these finnies. Again, I'm being very loosey-goosey. And I'm going from the long one, and as I go up, I shorten those little strokes to match up with that short one. We're just going to do one little quick one here. But again, very loose. We're trying to be nice and loosey-goosey. Try some different techniques out and see what happens. Right? So here I am talking about mixing with opposite colors. We got to get a blue out onto our palettes. Oh, thank you, Dale. Oh my gosh, that's a cool prop. Fresh to death. Thank you. Love that. Talking about mixing colors on the color wheel. Ideally, you want them to be the exact blue, the exact orange, because there is exact ways of mixing those and having those. We're going to fudge it a little bit. I'm not going to teach you guys how to paint the exact right blue and the exact right orange. It's just not in the cards for us today, okay? But when we're mixing with the blue, which we're going to do in 2 steps, not right away, but when we mix with the blue, be very gentle with it. We want very tiny, tiny little touches of blue, okay? Not loads of it. So before we get into that, sorry I'm jumping around you guys. When your teacher has ADHD, that's how you learn how to paint. Okay. You learn that way too. So I'm just cleaning off my brush because I'm grabbing just straight orange. Because remember from the beginning, the orange that we've been using has had a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red in it. But right now we're going into just straight orange and going back to our fish onto those lighter spots. This paintbrush is covered with duct tape, and now I'm putting it upside down. It's like pouring paint water out of it. It's been collecting in there. All right, I just put my brush, just a dip of water, but that's about it. We don't... Why is it so dirty? I think my paintbrush is dirty. No. We want just a little bit of water on our brush, and then we're going to go right into our just orange, which I tainted with that ugly color, but that's okay. And we are going to go again looking at our fish. Where does the orange get lighter? We started with the darker red on his little chinny chin. And now we're going to do a couple strokes of lighter orange coming up the back. Remember, you don't always want to hide your work. Like we did some of these colors already. You don't want to cover it up completely. Maybe you want to touch it a little bit, but you're not covering up all of the work we've already done. But we're going to go in. And again, see how like quickly I'm doing those strokes of just like touch a color, touch a color. Because we're going to get that chunky paint look, and it's going to be cool. Okay? How's it painting on pink? Is it looking cool for some of you people? Is your paint working well on top of it? Oops. That went a little crazy on me. Going swell. Once we put the blue on top, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Okay, where else can we add a little bit of that lighter orange? Maybe even in between some of those lines that we made. And sometimes too, maybe you do want that pink to peek through. It kind of gives you a cool like consistency throughout the piece. It's like cohesive. You see that same color popping out throughout the whole thing. How's that? Let's just add a couple in there too for fun. I'm trying to be better at not swearing, guys. I feel like I'm come leaps and bounds. Oh, and you know what I didn't paint in there? We'll do that later. Yeah, we'll do it later. All right. We've got a goldfish coming together. I'm pretty pumped on it so far. Are we happy campers? Are we trust in the process? Are you like, this girl's wild? We have nothing on our canvas at the moment. Just a couple weird shapes and a couple swipes. Loving it. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so this is a full disclosure. I'm going to just try something quick on here so that don't try it with me yet. Let's just see. I'm going to try this blue and the orange thing, okay? Like I told you before, I don't plan for these. I don't practice this first. We do it live together. So I don't want to lead you astray if something's about to go terribly wrong. So I'm just going to try it quickly, okay? I'm just mixing a touch of that blue, and the blue I'm using is Cinderella actually taught me that I was pronouncing this wrong my whole life. I was like, a phthalocyanine blue, but it is a phthalocyanine. You don't pronounce the PH. It's a thylo. Okay? That's what I'm using. You can use any blue. That's the blue that I'm using. I'm adding the tiniest touch. Again, like, it is very, like, look, I added a little bit in there, and you can see at the bottom of my palette here that it is Pretty strong color. So you want way more orange than black, but we want, I mean black than blue, but we want it to be this little darker color. Like look at his underbelly in this reference photo. Like see how it has that little, let's see. I'm just gonna go for it right here in his belly. Oh, that looks right. Add more orange than you'd think. The color's gonna mix a little bit, I mean dry a little bit darker on your canvas. But it's gonna give you like a browny, weirdy color. But I promise you, that's what we've got to do to get this through, okay? We're trusting the process because we're gonna add more layers on top and it's not gonna be as bad. And then when we use that same blue to do the blue of the water around it, it's gonna feel cohesive. Your eyes are gonna be like, oh, that same blue is being used throughout. Amazing. Okay? Do you trust it? Do you trust me yet? So I'm going through on all these darker spots and I am just adding this new orangey green color that we made. And at first we're gonna put it in all the spots that we squint and see in our canvas or on our reference photo, which you guys are gonna hear me say over and over again. But see how I'm just doing one square stroke at a time. I wish I could. When you look at it close, I feel like when we go on my zoom page, it just lowers the quality so much you can't see those individual brush strokes. We try. If you hate the color, add more orange to it, but we will be adding more as we go through. Right, he has this darker color on top. We've got a couple swipes of it in his little tail. You can add some water to your brush so it's translucent, more translucent in some spots if you want. Whatever floats your boat. Right? So we mix that orange with a little touch of the blue that we're going to be using later to do the water. And we're also going to bring some under his little chinny chin. I know right now it just looks like maybe a baby poop green. Happens. But I'm actually happy with the color. I'm not, sometimes I panic in my head and don't tell you guys as we're doing a paint night, and as I tell you to do something and it goes wrong, I'm like, oh no. How are we going to circle back from this? We usually do. But today I'm not worried. This color is the exact color that we need. I just know how y'all think sometimes, okay? And I'm adding some of that darker color in there again, but not covering all the work I've done before. You can see the dark red orange, you can see the light orange, and now you can see this greeny orange that we put in there. Okay. And now we need to add way more blue to the orange so that it's like almost blue with a tinge of that orange color in it. We don't want it to be straight blue. We still want it to have this like orangey blue color to it. But same thing, we're going to go through in a couple of these darker spots on the belly of the beast. In his little finny fin gilly gill. That's what I mean. Right. On the back of his tail a little bit. I'm still using a square brush for those of y'all who are also doing it. Remember playing with pressure on your brush, all that fun stuff. They're just a couple little lines just to bring in those darker values. Damn. I'm just cleaning off my brush. Because we're going into yellow next. Blink if you're alive, everybody. I haven't heard anything, so that stresses me out for y'all. But I'm cleaning off my brush. And I'm grabbing some yellow. Since I'm not hearing anything, I'm just going. I'm just going for it. Blink, blink. Okay, that's all I need to see. We've got a blink or two. Too focused. Respect. Okay, love that. So I'm grabbing my yellow, but for it to not to be too stark and out of the way, I'm going to grab a touch of orange as well into my yellow. We're not going pure yellow. We're doing the same orange that we touched. And the reason that we're mixing all these colors that we're using together is to create harmony in the painting. Okay? Again, I'm teaching you guys things like in like a sentence that I've learned throughout years of design school, so I don't know how to explain things sometimes, but trust me, it's good, it's working. Do it. Okay? So we've got a streak of that orangey yellow down his tail. We've got a splotch of that yellowy orange. Oh, I just went into straight orange, but that's okay. On the back of his tail, we've got a couple little strokies behind his gills. A couple little light highlights on his fins. A little behind his eyeball. I honestly love how this person paints this reference photo. Because I've seen it a bunch of times too, like Cinderella was saying, and it's just, brushstrokes are so juicy, the colors are so nice. It's nice, it's nice. And again, things are going to feel redundant. It's probably going to feel like I'm kind of speeding along, but when you do paintings like this, where you want to see kind of your brushstrokes and your work, it's kind of, again, it's nice to mix these colors together and get another little blend. So it's like, oh, now I'm going to add a touch more orange than I added of the yellow before. So now I'm using an orangey yellow. We're going to go in some other spots. So it's not as yellow and bright as these ones we've done, but we've added a little more orange just to get some more value in there. And looking at our reference photo, we're going through and just adding some texture in some of these spots. Let me know if you want me to zoom in a little bit. I don't really know what's translating well for y'all at home. Again, when I don't do paint nights for as long, I get worse at teaching it. I just like paint instead of talking to you like a jerk. But do you see it kind of coming together? Add some of that on his little mouth hole. A zoom would be good. How's that? I feel like it gets so blurry when I do the zoom, but it's better, I guess, than... Let me see if I... That's not helping. How about that? Let me see something quick. Oh, she back. Heyo, Banner. I'm back, just not as much, but just like a little bit. I'm back here and there. Trying my best. How How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome back to the studio. We've got a little fish on the go. But again, remember, I'm just like trying to think of what problems some people might be facing. Let's say you don't like that blue-orange you made. Maybe it's too dark. We can lighten it up, right? Like if you think that's too dark, you can mix it again and put a color over top. Nothing wrong with that. Dun, dun, dun. Need a little bit of that darker color up the back. This fish looking wild at the moment, but we're living for him. I'm just making a disaster of my palette down here, but that's okay. Dun, dun, dun. Get messy, make mistakes. That is what we do around here. That's what we like to see. Oh my gosh, I'm just as I'm dripping paint all over myself. Just major league distracted today. Okay. Just making some spikies in there if you want. We need a little bit of that blue-orange around them eyeballs. Alright, you can add a little bit of that color around that circle to make his bulgy big eyeballs that we're gonna make. Why does that... Does this look skewed? For some reason it looks skewed to me. I'm not sure. I don't know. You can even make the inside of his eye this dark blue-green if you want at the moment, but even just giving him that pupil little eye hole makes him look more like a fish. And you see like there's like bits of pink popping through. Can you see that? Okay, kind of not really. I'm just taking out a smaller square brush. I'm just, oh, but I don't know why that's red. But I got my smaller square brush out, and I'm still using this like orangey blue that we're creating here. You don't have to use a square. If you're not using a square brush, feel free to use a small pointed brush like so. Hey, something got on my screen. Computer telling me to restart. No, thank you. I'm in the middle of something. So we've got that darker orange blue on my brush. I don't know why it's not mixing nicely. And I'm coming where this little yellow spot we did right behind his eye. We're just adding some more of these gills. Right? Even up here where we made the lines before, we can make a little bit more of a gill. As we build him up, he gets more realistic. That's a weird square. I don't really know why I put that there. Oh, I'm not even on the camera. I'm just painting away and forgetting the world today. Okay. I still have this orange blue on my brush, and we're just building up again little smaller parts of his face. See how we made his triangle of a mouth with the lighter orange? We're just gonna define that line a little bit, and once we get down by the eye, kind of bring it out. Right? We're building up that mouth of his. And on the inside too, you want to just darken it up on the bottom half, right under that line that we've already drawn. Right, we already did that yellow line. Oh, you can't even see me pointing at it, it's off screen. We've already done this yellow line here. And we're gonna add that darker color underneath just to bump up that little mouth. And let's just add, let me see the rest here. What else should we put on there before we start going in with other colors? Okay, for now, I think we're looking okay with that darker color that we've added. Maybe a touch. I'm still using this blue orange. I'm adding a touch more orange into it just to lighten it up a little bit. We just need to darken up his underbelly right here. Just added a little bit more of the dark orange blue on his belly. And then we're gonna start adding some white in there. You can even with this color fill in a couple more of his fin if you want. Just a little. I've got some water on my brush so it can be a little translucent. Okay, how is our fish body? Does the fish have a name? Says Banner. Frederick. When I look at him, that's the first name I think of is Frederick. That's all I've got. How about everybody else's? What are your fish's names? Brilliant. Yes. Thank you. Oh, I'm still going with that orange. I'm just like finding other places. Maybe just a little bit of dark on his tail. But other than that, we're going to go to white for a little bit and add some little highlights and some spots that are going to make y'all feel like your fish is coming more to life, because anytime I said, how do you feel about your fish? Nobody said they love him. So we're going to add some white in there and we're going to love him. Okay? I feel like he's coming along. Me likey, me likey. So, I'm still using this little square brushy. I'm getting some water on my brush, but I cleaned it first. I don't want it to be orange. My water is orange, so that's difficult. But we want a little bit of water on your brush, and you're going to get some white on there. And you're going to mix around a little bit, add a little bit of water again. A little translucency is not bad. Maybe I'll keep zooming. Sorry again that the quality's crappy. But we're going to start by, remember how we've made these gills, right? We're starting to build up parts of the fish on here. We're going to do a white square right on down. Boop. Woo. Scary? Are we scared? And then right here, right, we made this dark gill, and then we made another gill up here right in the middle. Let's do a little white curve. Boop. And again, right, we've drawn this darker line. We're going to come on up. Do, do, do. Now he reminds you of Nemo. Oh, with a little, he's like a little clownfish. bringing that line across. I love Finding Nemo. I love. One of my faves for sure. But see, on this white line that we did here, we brought it up, came down, and we brought a line right across. And guess what? My dark orange blue that I put down there was wet a little bit, and it blended in, and I kind of like what it looks like, so I'm keeping it. Right, but we're just building up. Maybe a little bit of white on his little mouth. Justin, I just got your text. I was going to text back, I'm streaming, but we'll respond later. How you doing, buddy? We're just painting a cute little goldfishy. In that eyeball, let's put that white all the way around. Right? He looks like he's wild and he's a very scared fishy. But again, we'll be going in with value and shading. But at this moment, you can even put a dot in there if you will, make you feel better too. Boop. Right? How is that fish? He looks crazy, but he's coming along. All right. Do we want to put some streaks in his fins if you want to? Look how far away I'm holding my paintbrush from the edge. I'm not trying to be very close. I'm holding it super far away. And then just letting it like lightly wisp against the canvas. He looks a little startled. And just adding the white to his eyes just gave him so much life, right? Eyes are the window to the soul, you guys. They're always important. Okay, and now, even though I know it feels like, what, the fish isn't even close to being finished yet, we're going to start painting in the background, because blocking in a bunch of these shapes, or a bunch of this with that blue, is just going to make him pop out of that from that pink even more. Y'all are going to be so excited. So we're going to get out the blue that we were using. Why is my nose so itchy today? I feel like I have to sneeze, but I don't. And my hair's a little, whatever. Guys, I'm wilding today. We are going to take out the blue that we were using for the mixing with the orange. And if you want like two-toned blue in the background, you can bring out like a teal or an aqua or something if you want. Cad red, orange, and yellow. Oh yeah, right. I'm allergic to all of these things. I forgot. I literally forgot since we've been doing paint nights that I'm allergic to all these things. Cadmium. What can you do? So we want white and we want blue. And we want a big old square brush. Oh my god, Cinderella. I can't believe I forgot about my allergy. Okay, and we're not going to be going straight in with the blue. The blue is always going to have a little bit of white. Oh my god. A little bit of white in it. I haven't been using red very often. Okay, my water is very orange and I'm not going to change it, so we're going to be dealing with that a little bit. But we're going to take a bunch of white and a little bit of blue. And we gonna mix that together. Oprah! Oh my goodness, you guys. Oprah's here dropping the props like the queen that they are. Thanks for the love. Okay, y'all, this is the best part. At least I think it's the best part. Other than me just sneezing away over here. We've mixed a little bit of blue with white, and we're going to have blue and white on our palettes ready to go into them whenever we need, right? And we're going to start by coming close to, but not fully touching, our little fish. Do you see how, like, I came up to his fin, close to, but not touching? A little bit of water on my brush, but not much. And we're just going to start by literally stroking on some big brush strokes. Oh yeah, it's coming. Of this blue. But we don't want too many of them together. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's worse than it's ever been before. We don't want to put them too many of them close together of the same color because we want to get a little bit of that variety. So we're going to start by putting a few like that, and then we're going to go right into our blue again. Mix around a tiny bit into that color, but now we have a darker blue. And no rhyme or reason. We're kind of just going around. And as you go, the color will get lighter or darker as you mix with the colors that are already on the page. Easel, whatever. Canvas, maybe. See how we're going there? You can go back into your lighter blue and kind of blend those together. And we're coming close to, but not touching. Maybe touching a little bit if you want. Your fish, okay? But I want to see, like, I personally would love to see some of the pink popping through. I think that's beautiful, super cool. But while the paint is nice and wet and moldable, we're going to go through and get this brush strokey, beautiful look. And again, if you're looking at a reference photo, which I say a million times, but when you're learning to paint with me, you're a reference-based artist. And we see that it's darker blue on the bottom and it gets lighter as we go up. So we're going to start with this darker blues at the bottom. And use like a big old brush if you want. Like, it's fun to kind of slob this paint around a little bit. And remember, this is a time too that you can like erase some parts of your fish maybe that you don't want to like. If you want to reshape him a little bit, you can paint some of that blue right over top, some of those things on there that you don't like maybe. Dresden, here you thought you were gonna miss. We're just getting started. Not really getting started, but we are just, we haven't got a ways to go. Thanks for the prop, coming in hot with the prop. We are just slobbing paint around. You came just in time for the catchphrase. But see, already he's starting to really pop out of that background. And this is what I mean too, like if you want to add some other colors, like if you have some aqua or some teal, you can start mixing those in while you're going through. I'll just keep it nice and simple just in case some folks don't have some other colors. And now as I'm getting closer to the top, I'm going to be adding more white, even more white to my brush. All right. See, I personally think this is the most like fun part. It's you're just no rhyme or reason, throwing paint around, filling up the space, getting these pretty brush strokes out of it. See what happens when you push hard, or if you add more water. See what happens. I'm gonna teach how to do the blue, that blue tape striping. Blue tape stripe. Oh, like on my latest paintings that I'm doing? Is that what you're talking about? Even if that's not what Dresden's talking about, go to my Instagram, you guys, and see my latest paintings because I'm obsessed with them. Where I, yes, okay, yeah. Hey, I can. I totally can teach those ones. It's my new jam. I'm loving it so far. But yeah, it really just starts with painting something in black and white first. That's the first step. See, guys, I'm adding some more dark under here. But yeah, I'm going to be doing lots of those statues. They make me excited to like paint. I love them. I love them. I'll see if I can grab one without tripping over all the cords like I did before we started. Let's see, we're still going across through. I haven't really been changing up my technique or anything. I've just decided to go back down and add more dark blue at the bottom. But again, it's the same. We're just big brush strokes. Coming close to, but not touching. Sometimes touching the fish. No tripping. Tripping's bad. Oh, trust me. I know. So again, 6 o'clock snuck up on me as usual, even though I was fully prepared. I forgot to, I wasn't fully prepared. I thought I was fully prepared. And then as I started my countdown, I realized that I didn't have any paint brushes over here. So I sneaked out of this little cord-infested place. My countdown was on, so it was okay. And then when I ran back, I fully tripped over this camera over here. I tripped over the cord, and I knew right away that I pulled it out because the light was off. So I was like, great. When my countdown's done, it's going to show up to a no camera. So I had to sneakily unplug, replug, click some buttons, and hope for the best, and we're good. Sometimes when I trip on it, it takes some time to bounce back. So today was a good day. How are we doing? It's only 8:15, and we don't have too much of our little fishy to go. Taytayski! Heck yeah, it does! It does. Taytayski on a Thursday. I'm living for this background. So am I, actually. As I was painting it, I'm like, this is beautiful. Thanks to Terri Parker again. Shout out to the original artist for inspiring us to do such a beauty style and just kind of try something different. And again, we're using the square brush. I love seeing like these little bits of pink like peeking through the blue. I think that's super cool. I was gonna say something about whatever, but we'll stop. Big chunky background. It's pretty funky, hey? Pretty funky. Okay. And again, covering some of the pink, not all of it. This is just, see my brain, like I stopped talking to you guys because this soothes my brain. Just painting big brush strokes, not really thinking about anything. That's why art therapy is the best. Clears your brain. Right, and then again, depending on your style or your preference, you can bring it all the way to the top or not, whatever you want. I'm probably gonna just do it to about there. Ooh, that's nice. Turns one half the brain. Okay, yeah, I guess. I guess it doesn't turn my whole brain off. It turns part of your brain off. The loud part. Okay, and so purdy. It is purdy. But we're not done. We're not done yet. Let me try again. I'm going to try something quick before I tell you to do it. Today's a little different. Just because I don't want to, yeah, like I said, I don't want to leave you straight. So if I do that and I add a little bit of orange in there. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay, so if we have this blue and white color that we were using, and we're going to add the tiniest touch of orange in there, but tiny. And we're going to go into our painting. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. So we have the light blue and orange, or light blue and white, and now we're adding a tiny touch of orange. And see, that's the color we got right there. Do you see that swipe right there? We're just adding a tiny a bit, and we're like, it's good for the painting to bring the same consistent colors throughout the whole thing. So now we're bringing more color from the background, but bringing it into our little fishy a little bit. So again, it's light blue, blue with white, with a touch of orange. And we're going to go from the top of his fins, and we're going to pull it down in the pinker spots. Oh, but you guys can't see that. I'm a jerk. Right? See, so I added that blue and orange, and now we're kind of adding it to the top of that fin of his, and now it has a nice like blend into the I saw that sharp pink line that we had. Now it's kind of more of a nicer blend. You can even add a little bit more blue and orange in there to make it a little bit darker even if you want. My palette is a disaster. But again, we're bringing that color, those common colors throughout the whole piece to keep it cohesive. Hey, hey, hey. I'm wearing like something with huge sleeves. It's like close to paint all the time. Oh, that's very dark, very dark. No, 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 we don't want that. Ignore this line that I just made. Just shh, nothing to see here. Just gotta get some more white on my palette. Aren't most paint palettes disasters? Understatement of the year. My palette, like, some people just keep a clean palette. Like, again, talking about my Pinovate class, I loved it because there was like 16 ladies in there. Different ages, different levels of everything. And it was just cool to see how different people painted. Like, we had some wood palettes, wooden palettes. And some people just did 3 little blobs and they just worked in that one little tiny spot and their whole palette was clean. And then there's people like me who's just like a disastrous mess. There's no order. Okay, here are the, see how it's mostly blue and white with a little touch of orange, and see how it's a different color than what we've been getting before. But we want to bring that, it is an explosion of paint. Like if we go to his tail, that's how we kind of get these like transparent look almost, is blending those colors together and giving them this wispy treatment. A little bit of water on your brush goes a long way. And we get that wispy, almost see-through look on the tail. We can add some on his little fin too. Again, just to keep repeating, this is the blue and white with a touch of orange. Right. How is that? And with this color, my brush is a little too big. I'm going to go to a little bit of a smaller brush. But we're going to the bottom of his little eyeballs with this, again, this blue, white, and a little bit of orange. And we're going to go on the bottom half of his eye. Add a little bit of dimension in there. Dimension, depth and dimension is what I just say over and over and over again. How is that though? Like that? That's looking pretty cool. Again, like maybe I need to whiten up this. His like fin's getting a little bit, the fin's disappearing a little bit in there. Maybe we need to lighten it up a little bit. Listen to my accent. Are you practicing? Hey, I don't know. I feel like when we had to do this like icebreaker at this event I was hosting, and the question ended up being like, what's like, what makes you weird, or what's one of your like weirdest quirks? And I like, it was hard for me to like think, but I realized it's that I just like speak in accents. Like, is it like when I'm stressed or when I'm awkward? I don't know what it is, but I speak an accent often. And apparently I'm getting even better at accents. feel like, yeah, I don't know. Is it stress? God, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Social awkwardness. I don't know. Is it because it makes you fancy? Maybe. Is it because I loved Arnold Austin Powers? Wow, I don't know why that was such a hard thing for me. Oh my goodness, why is this going on so... I'm just like ruining my background a little bit. I just wanted to lighten it up around his fins a little bit. But maybe we didn't have to. That's not mine, baby. It's not my bag. Also, like, fat bastard. You know what my neck looks like? You all finished that in your heads. I know you did. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we've got this fishy. We've got him... I'm just like trying to make him pop out of my background a little bit more, but that's just me being a picky. I need to stop. You're hairy like an animal. Oh, do I need to rewatch those movies? I think I do. No, because then I'll just be like, the accent will... That's all I'll be speaking in the whole time. Okay, I don't know why I'm still... What next, everybody? Okay, so we're going back to... I got distracted in the background and in good old... I just about called him Ashton Kutcher. I don't know what's going... I don't know what's wrong with me. So, when we look at our fish, y'all, what do we feel like we're missing? He's missing a little bit of an eye. He needs a fin right here. And we just need to kind of bump up some of those darker values. I think, yeah, we can do that with blue. And then some little highlight, little black pop, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I just have some of that dark blue on my brush at the moment. And I'm just kind of going back in some of those spots just with tiny touches of this dark blue. Again, kind of to keep that same consistency through, but also because I think it looks good. I have no other good use for that, or no other reason for that. Obviously, I'm wilding out. You're like a 4-year-old messing the puzzle. No, you're not the distraction. Me getting lost into my accents is a me problem, not a you problem. Okay. So the fish is coming along. That looks pretty cool if you ask me. But now we just need to bump up some parts of him. So, oh, Kenzie. Hello, cute little cutie. Thanks for giving me fireworks. Unnecessary. So I'm going back with just a little bit of a smaller brush. And again, it's probably going to feel redundant, but guess what? You've got to do it. We're going back with just pure red on our brushes, on our littler brushes, whether it's a square brush or whether it's a pointed brush. So let's just put a couple of these bright red lines throughout to just kind of bump up some of our fin. So we're just going to do a couple little red lines of fin. Ooh, pretty. I'll zoom in for that. Do you see these little red lines? Alright. And just in this front fin a little bit, just kind of, it's almost just bumping up some of these shapes. You can put some more red through there too. It's not translating well on my screen how red it is on mine, but what can you do? Kenzie just said her app is crashing. She'd like to speak to the manager. Justin, you're the closest thing we've got. So with this red, we're just gonna make a tiny little bump where his eye should go. And it's right, if you kind of make a line, see with my paintbrush, I'm making a line from his pupil at an angle. There's just a little bumpy right there. Do you see it? Do you see it? That's his little beady eyes peeking through. Alright? Again, we gotta Taytayski it a little bit. I'm not doing exactly like we see on the screen. I gotta add some pops of color in there. You know who I am. And I'm just putting some bright red in some of these shapes. It's almost acting like an outline. Moonshine just said mine's better. Pumping my tires. Sweet little angel. I gotta say, this looks very good. Thanks, Kenzie. You guys, it's a fun one today. Again, we gotta give credit to Terri Parker, the original artist, because, like I said, it happened to Ellie too. It's just like a painting that just got you like excited. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, I just want to paint that. So I just added some more red up through his little spiky spikes. Around the gills, you did amazing. Thanks. You guys. Just pumping me tires. Justin saying he can't wait to see the paint-alongs. I know, you guys were saying that you were loving, so I hope it's still loved. Okay. So we've got a fish in there. We've got his little pokey eye. Oh my goodness, we forgot this little fin right here. We're gonna do something a little bit... I hope everyone names theirs Gosh. Moonshine actually asked us earlier what their names was, and what did I call him? Frederick? It just felt right to call him Frederick. But Kenzie wants to call them fish. Oh, you mean you hope everyone names their fish, not you hope everyone names their fish fish, is how I read that. I hope everyone names their fish Gosh. What days do you do this? I'm gonna have my paint stuff ready. Okay, so just today we have come to the conclusion I do it every last Thursday of the month. So the last Thursday of every month. And then if you want to do others, they're all on YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. You can watch them on Caffeine now if you want. You don't have to be at the live, but we'll be here, and we always have a good time. Okay, we're making a fin quick. Oh, I need more. Oh, no, there's my orange. I was like, what kind of name is Gosh? I love that. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of orange and a little bit of red. Mix them two together. And we're going to do just kind of like our chocolate milk consistency almost a little bit. Like it's going to be really... Oh my gosh! Just seeing Bubsy, I saw Daryl too, and I didn't say anything to Daryl. Hello, you two. There's some birthdays and some celebrations and some excitement. The sun's home. Love it. Love it, love it. Good to see you guys. Okay, with our little watered down orange red, I'm literally just going to do this. Ming. I'll even zoom in. And this is watered down, so it's going to dry a little bit translucent, and that's what's going to make it look like it's in the distance. Just a little fin in the distance. Right? Just back there. Okay, I'm obsessed with this fish. Okay. And again, too, like, just detail-wise, if you want to add just, like, a little bit of lighter orange right here for a little bit of that face shape, you can. You don't gotta, but you can. Okay, let's make that pupil. Let's do that eyeball. I'm scared to put black in it for some reason. I don't feel like it's hers black. I don't know. We're going for it. So if you want to be wild, you can keep using your little square brush, but it's safe to say that it'll be a little bit easier to get the pupil with a pointed brush. And are we going to get black on our palettes, I guess? It's got to be black. Sharpie too. Oh, Dresden, thanks. Good call. If you are uncomfortable with making small points with your brush, get a Sharpie. I'll tell no one. No one will know. It's fine. We just got a little black on that brush, and I'm just going to make that pupil just a little bit darker. Lisa is apologizing for not painting with us tonight. Please, you don't have to paint along. Your presence is always the best. That's always preferred. Let me get that little pupil in there. Wanted to, but life happened. Oh, you know. That is the realist. Life. It's been crazy for everybody. So that is all the reasoning I need to hear. All right. Yeah, Justin. Oh my goodness. I'll call you after. With black on your brush. Oh, see, I'm just a sucker for black, you guys. I love a strong black outline. I'm just going to do a couple little strokes of black. Don't feel like you have to do it. It just feels right to me at the moment. And that's what we're going to do. You look great and fishy too. Ah, oh, you sweet little angel. Thank you. All right, I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's it for that. Is that it? Is that it? It's 8:37. Wow, that was a quicker than usual. How's that? I think that's pretty cool. Wow, that was fun. And again, too, no detail. Like, you can continue on with as much detail as you want. Maybe you want to go in with more yellow or yellow and white or something. I ain't stopping ya. Like, maybe you want to bump up some more of these yellow spots. I don't know. If you want to, nothing's stopping ya. How about that? That's cool. Just a little bit more of that yellow in there. And we're laughing. The more layers, the more detail you put, the more complex your painting looks. Layers equal time. Maybe you want to give them some gills. I don't know. How do we feel, y'all? How do we feel? Maybe some little streakies through that tail. I'm just picking away. I can stop. This was a good one. I can't remember who. Somebody, is it you, Kat? Somebody said that we should do a goldfish in like a bag, like in a bag. That's what sparked the looking for a goldfish painting. Somebody was saying, like, you know, like at a fair you get a goldfish in a bag, and I love that idea. Then I kept seeing this painting, and I was like, this is the one we've got to do. I guess if you wanted to make this into a bag, you could, but just that big brushstrokey background is just chef's kiss. What was I just looking at in there that I said that maybe we could change? On the eye, again, this is just me being the most, like, picky whatever, and that just happens. If you want to make the eye a little more even realistic, because remember, we put that, like, dark gray underneath, right? If you want to get the teeniest, tiniest brush of all time, maybe this one. Oh my gosh, so small. Get some white on there. And just do a little white outline underneath the pupil and over top that shadow. that we drew. Do you see that? Oh my goodness, it already just bumped it up so much. So cool. Oops, not at the bottom. Alright. And you can go through as much as you want with white highlight. I'm a sucker for white highlight. But I think the fishy is... Oh, I lied to you a little bit. He's almost complete. Just put a little bit of yellow in his eye. It's not all white. Like a little yellow in there. You can let some of that white peep through. Oh my goodness, that's a dirty brush. But a little bit of yellow at the top of his little eyeball. If you want. No pressure. If you liked it white better. Maybe add a little bit of white into your yellow. That's a better color. But I think we've got a fishy, folks. Oh my gosh, my Instagrams. Let me see. How are we feeling, folks? How are we feeling about our fishies? Do we have any questions? Do we need any other details? Do we need anything? Like, it's so hard because the camera doesn't focus, but it's cool. Like, see that pink peeking through? Like, that's really cool. Get it close as a whole. And, like, see, like, there's some pink inside of his body in here. There's, like, kind of like a pink outline with his fins. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Oprah of props come in with a 100. After at least, thank you for all the props, you guys. My goodness. Just spoiling me. Oh my gosh, my bun, it looks like a pineapple today. The top of a pineapple. I'm hearing nothing from the painters, so they're still painting along. Nothing wrong with that. A while too recently, I've been getting some sense, like, I didn't even know that y'all were painting along, so there's more people painting than I even knew. No, most of the time. Again, percentage-wise, I think most people, more people do the YouTubes than the lives. And that's fine. But I enjoy the paint nights live better than by myself. I think they're more fun, so I'd rather do this than make YouTube content alone. Know what I'm saying? What am I doing? Stop it. Taylor. That's fine. Alrighty. So now we have a month until our next one. It looks like it's going to be the 28th. You would have a gallery to sound off. I know I need the gallery. Do I watch any YouTube artists? No, guys, I'm bad. I'm bad at consuming content. I'm bad at that. I need to get better at, like, seeing other artists. What YouTube artist should I be watching? Holler at your girl. I know YouTube is such a world that I need to get into, but I keep, I've already, like I explained, just not enough time in a day. 1000. Shout out to 1000. Let's see, I'm going to my YouTube here. 1000. Oh. Oops. Let me subscribe. Oh, so he does, like, murals. He does art collabs. That's cool. Me likey. Everyone, go check out this 1000. I like it. He's got a lot of cool stuff on here. I like it, I like it, I like it. Oh, YouTube is such a whole other world as well. I just listened to Joe Rogan and Mr. Beast's podcast. It was so interesting to hear this little Mr. Beast talk just about his like passion, and he just loves YouTube, and is obviously very talented, and obviously has made something of himself huge, but it's just very interesting to hear him talk about it. So fun. I sent you a pic. I might mess with the fins more though. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys can't see. I was just enjoying it. Look at that. Oh my, I made my thing a little bit too big. Get this out of there. Look at her fishy. Beautiful. Beautiful, so wispy. Oh my gosh. You do have a really close pink. The pink is very close. That background gave me life. Oh, I love. You guys, this is beautiful. Oh, the background? The background is good. The background is good. So, like, expressive. So, just right. Just feels right. I don't know. I made it bigger in there so that we could see him closer, but I made it a little bit too big, but that's okay. That's okay, that's okay. Let me check out the rest. I didn't know. I didn't ask Nikki if she was painting along or just visiting today. Let me see. Oh, we've got a few on here. Oh my goodness. Oh, we can't. Can you see that? Look at all these fishies just crushing out fishy after fishy. Obsessed. This one has bubbles. So cute. Oh my goodness. Look at those little cuties. Oh, and I got and she showed me what her palette looks like. Disastrous like mine. Love it. Okay, and then what else? Let me know if there's any others in here. I know there's a few, but I will wait. I will wait. I wait. Palettes are pieces of art themselves. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. That's just like when I took off my, remember on my laptop had the little keyboard cover? And it was just like filled with paint splatters for like years. I was like, I can't throw this out. It's a piece of art. It's years of my life on there. Okay, you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am obsessed with this fish. Obsessed with this fish. I just started using disposable palette paper. Cinderella's singing there. She uses disposable palette paper and gets sad tearing them away. I just started using it too. I used to use it in school, and then I had all this like extra plastic from packaging and stuff, so I just would use that for a bit. But then I noticed that my paint would dry quickly, and then it would get chunks of paint, and then it would go into my painting. So that didn't work. But now I'm using these disposable paint palettes. I have to see if they get too expensive or not. I go through a lot of them at a time. I went through a bit. I really like working on like acrylic or like a glass board or whatever. But it is very hard to clean off, and I was finding myself spending so much time like cleaning it before every painting that my flow would be lost. And you guys, it's a very fickle thing being in a creative flow, so I can't fight with that a little bit. But what should we paint next month, everybody? Any suggestions? Any requests? Any preferences? Skulls, right? Cinderella wants to do skulls. I'm nervous! Okay. Okay, we can try a skull. We can try a skull. Should we do like a dripping skull? Sorry, I can't stop yawning. Should we do like a dripping skull? Like, oh my goodness. Dripping and glitter. Hey, I guess, you know what? Who's stopping me, really? we can do whatever we want. And if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. That is fair. Okay, we've got another one in here. Look at this mythical beast, it says. I am a mythical beast. Amazing as usual. Oh. Oh, so you didn't go pink first. So you can see a difference on here, you guys, if you don't do pink first. Love that. Love that. Setting the bar high. Yeah, I know. Dresden, I don't mean to be mean about, like, doing a skull and that everyone's gonna fail. It's just that I've done it before. I'm not gonna say everybody failed. It didn't go as smoothly as we would like. It was a lot more awkward because it's basically like you're doing a portrait. Like, it's not... Whenever it becomes hands or face, it gets so hard. Whew, I can't stop yawning. And I don't know why. I don't know why it's like, oh, I can look at this intricate shape. There's nothing around me that's intricate. Like, I can look at a camera and paint the whole thing and look at it and draw it easy. But then when I'm looking at this skull, like, it doesn't translate the same for you for some reason. You did it on stream, you must have missed it. So I did do it on stream, but it was before I even started recording them. So it was like early on in streaming world. 2020, so I guess 2 years ago I started. If Justin's here, he can confirm this for me, I think. I think I started October 2020. I think I started live streaming, like, recording them October 2020, so it must have been a little bit before then, maybe September. I started these little paint nighties. Had to be. It was 2019. I started before COVID, so it was 2019. Even longer. Yep, time's flying. Time's flying. And now we've done, like, what, not 80 a bit paint nights? I'm really excited for this one to put it up on there and see how it goes, how y'all like it. Something a little different, not very heavy outlines, a little more fun. Y'all who try to do it with a square brush, challenging yourselves, get some cool textures out of it. Cinderella says she's going to paint this one many times. Love that. I pulled a Tay and got paint all over my clothes. Story of my life. Literally, every time I come in here, I know I'm like, oh, Taylor, you should change. I'm just like, but that's a drag. And then I'm like, oh, pissed, I got paint on my pants. It's just a vicious cycle. I have a really good friend of mine, a really old friend of mine, who, oh my goodness, I can't stop yawning. A really old friend of mine who is a fashion, like, she makes clothes and she makes overalls and she makes that type of stuff. And I wanted to make me a pair of coveralls and a pair of just like apron, like a cool apron, pink apron. I'd love that. It's not her that's delayed, it's me that's delayed. So I'll get that at some point in my life. And we didn't do the, what you call it? The thumbnail. I just have to be a fishy. My hair's just too wild today. How did you get paint all over your clothes if we weren't splattering today? I feel like it was a tame painting today. We're just gonna have this weird little bun on top of my head for the thumbnail. But we already concluded thumbnails are boring now. You dropped your palette on your clothes. Well, that is a different story. That's that's a tough one. That's a tough one to come back from. That's a very big mess. I'm just gonna scooch you to the side. Bye-bye. I don't like that I'm fully lit from this corner. That's okay. We'll do that. Yeah. My apologies, Nico. That's the worst. Should I just be... a fish? Should I kiss the fish? No, it has to be on this side if it goes with all my other photos. Oh my god! It's happened to me. She sweats down here. Okay. I'll just be a fishy over here. Done. Right? Oh, I love that painting. Guys, I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, so and then I guess what? I need to I need to be shocked too. Oh my goodness, where I didn't have my so my eyes just have to be wider. I didn't have my art director here with you guys, with me, sorry. So if the painting is placed here like this, and I'm like this. Ow! That hurt my face. Ouch, mama. Okay, I guess I'll put into my calendar right now. Skull paint night. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me see. I'll put it in my calendar. I just got a text and I just got distracted like a little squirrel. Story of my life. So we are doing, what month are we in? We're in April. It'll be April 28th. Caffeine Paint Night Skull Edition. Okay. And then I guess I gotta go to caffeine. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it so I don't forget while we're all here right now. Caffeine. April, what did I say it was? April what day? 28th. April 28th. Goldfish. Not a goldfish. I'll be here without a boat and so pumped. Okay, I love it. Is it a rainbow skull? Are we doing a rainbow skull? I guess we can do black and white and then go from there. Hey, that's then we could even add the tape in there just like Dresden was talking about. I guess we're doing skulls, guys. So if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for following along. We always have fun. Send me your pictures if you're watching this on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Etsy, what else? What else we got? Caffeine, all across the board. Taytayski, always. It's funny today, my Uber was like, Tay, what's that? How do I pronounce your name? And I was like, oh, it's short for Taylor. And I always throw people off with it. And they're like, oh, Taylor's a nice name. I'm like, I know. I don't not want to be called Taylor, you guys. But Tay, you know, you gotta. Lisa wants to pay more in her retirement. Well, we can help you with that. Cinderella, thanks for the unicorn. Dresden for the props. Oprah's back with some more props. Yeah, we got a Putin uni today. That's a good day. I love you. People on YouTube have never come to caffeine. Must be like, what is a Putin uni? And one day, somewhere on my computer, actually, there is a video of me teaching you how to draw Putin uni that I recorded to send to caffeine, and I never sent it. Maybe I gotta do that. No, you did it live, but then I did it again by myself. Not Putin uni. A Putin. P-O-O-T-I-N-G. Not a P-U-T-I-N. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up for us. Cinderella. Hey, also, I feel like we're missing some fish in there. Have I got any others sent in here? Because I know there's some others painted away, but that's okay, that's okay. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Oh well, we'll come up. Not pumping tires, but your fish looks so much more lively? Because I made his eyes like this. Just kidding. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Mine's a little more cartoony. Nothing wrong with that. But, I love it, you guys. Thanks. We finished early today. It was a little bit quicker than usual, which is surprising. I thought it was going to take us longer. He looks like he's zipping a pig. Justin. You watch that. That's an inside joke. But I won't repeat. Okay, everybody. Thanks again for everything. You're the best. I'll catch ya on the flip side. Good night.